welcome to another episode of You Know Me, a Golden Isles podcast. What's up, Buddha?
Hey, Beard, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We're getting close to Christmas.
That's just a handful of days away.
Yeah, and you know what I like about sometimes with Christmas is I like to take a quick little break and relax. And talking about relaxing is nothing like relaxing on a good mattress.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've all been there where we've had good mattresses and bad mattresses, but I mean, there's nothing like a good night's sleep.
Hey, you know, you need to be sound asleep when Santa comes.
That's true. I mean, you know, when Santa comes, and you gotta make sure the kids are asleep, and you know, cookies and milk and all that good fun stuff.
Absolutely. Well, we're in the perfect place for that, though.
Yes, we are.
We're here with Lauren from Golden Isles Mattress. Lauren, why don't you say hi and introduce yourself and tell us about you and how this came about?
Hey, yeah. My name's Lauren Sobala, and this is my business, Golden Isles Mattress. I have been in this mattress business industry for 8 years, and I'm a mother of 2 girls. They are 10 and 12, and becoming a mother is what motivated me to find a way to get out of the 9-to-5 workforce and find something where I could still make an income, but also be there for my children 100%. So it took me a while to figure out what that might be. I did not know it would be a mattress business owner because I was looking for anything that piqued my interest, which was more, you know, clothing. And I looked at a consignment store downtown that I almost bought, but that fell through. I think that was divine intervention. And I kept looking, and then I found a listing for a home goods store posted on Craigslist. I don't know that Craigslist is still really a thing, but this was, 8 years ago. And so I inquired about it. It was in Jessup, and I decided to call and talk to the gentleman. I thought home goods, furniture, couches, like decorative items, but he said it was mattresses. And I said, no, I don't think I'm interested. But he's like, no, listen to me. I'm by appointment, and I'm already established. I've been doing this for a year. I just have some health issues, need to get out. I need to find someone to take over. And I said, okay, maybe I'll come talk to you. And so my husband and I went to Jessup and talked to him, and he sold me on the concept because of the by appointment part of it. That would allow me to still do what I needed to do as a parent, as a mother, but still make an income. So I decided on a leap of faith to pursue this avenue. I realized he was part of a franchise. It was called Mattress by Appointment. So the by appointment idea was, not something I came up with. That was part of that franchise. And so I started with taking over that store in Jessup. And so with my 18 months in tow, I would drive on a daily basis to Jessup and set appointments and meet customers. And then if I made sales, my husband and I later, after coming back, picking up my other daughter from school, I would get with my husband after he got off work, and we would travel back to Jessup to load up mattresses to then deliver to all around, within an hour radius of Jessup to everywhere. And so getting home at 10 o'clock at night with my kids having to go back to school we did this for a while. And then the gentleman and do we want to get this detailed? I mean, is this?
Oh, yeah, this is perfect.
The gentleman who was helping me unload mattresses, which I was doing on my own, and hoping that the drivers who saw a female in need would not make me unload those mattresses alone. I was always lucky, and I gave them a tip, but they always would help me unload the semi-trucks until my business neighbor's employee, realized that I could use some help, so he started helping me, and I started to pay him, and then that kind of evolved, and eventually he started helping me deliver the mattresses as well. So my husband and I were able to take a step back from driving there all the time and doing all the deliveries to kind of spreading that out a little bit, and he was doing most of that. But in the meantime, the franchise, someone opened one in Brunswick where I live, and so I was upset. This was 9 months into me taking that leap of faith, leaving my full-time job. I worked with the Glenn County Board of Commissioners in the finance department in purchasing, so I left that full-time job with benefits and security to take this leap of faith to do this mattress thing. And then 9 months into it, someone opened a mattress by appointment in Brunswick. I was devastated because I thought I'm going to have to drive to Jessup forever now because I'm not going to be able to open a store in Brunswick. But 9 months into working for myself, I wasn't ready to open a second location, but I did. I reacted to him opening the Brunswick location, and I opened a store in St. Mary's. So I was living in Brunswick, and opened a store there from the beginning. Like I had to paint the walls, put the flooring
the
down,
whole build out
the whole
Yeah.
place in St. Mary's at a plaza there. And I was driving, I guess my husband works full time, driving to Jessup making sales, and I was driving to St. Mary's making sales, and then we weren't delivering in Jessup any longer, but we started delivering, my husband and I again, in St. Mary's and all of the surrounding areas there. And so I did that for a little while, but then the gentleman who opened the store here in Brunswick, after about a year, realized that he could not make it work as a second stream of revenue. He was working full time. He couldn't find someone to operate it for him. He was getting married. It's just, he had too much going on. He decided, I don't want this business. Do you want the location in Brunswick? And I said, yes, I do. I don't know how I'm going to do 3 locations with one person selling mattresses, but I'll figure it out. And at least I have my hometown territory, reserved. So then I did that. The gentleman who was delivering for me in Jessup decided that he could then sell for me, and so I trained him, and so he started operating that store 100%. I was able to then just do Brunswick and St. Mary's. And then eventually I decided that was all too much, and so I closed the St. Mary's store. He was operating that one. I was operating Brunswick, and then I realized because I'm from here, people know me. I'm able to have those connections and network that Brunswick was outpacing every other location. I was doing as much business just in Brunswick as I was doing among all 3.
Wow.
So I decided to close the Jessup location as well. And so that I operated Brunswick for a little while, and then I realized that I didn't need the franchise. And so I was able to leave the franchise and went independent. And that was about 2 years ago. But I decided as well that I did not want to change the business model of the by appointment, because that gives me the freedom to operate, on my own terms and still make money, but also have the freedom to take to and from school and go on field trips and take to doctor's appointments. And when they're sick, I can stay home and they can come here, and it just gives me the freedom that I needed. The by appointment thing is interesting. I know with the mattress industry, most stores you can walk into the store and buy a mattress whenever you want, but there is a lot of overhead when you have a business that has employees and commission salespersons and all of the, insurance and all the things that go with having multiple employees. And so I'm cutting all of that expense out, which then, trickles down to the customer with savings. So typically I'm not compared to Wayfair or Sam's Club or, Big Lots. Like, they have budget-friendly prices. I'm a budget-friendly store, but I'm more comparable to a Mattress Firm or Ashley or, a higher-end offering, but I am much less than those typically. So I can offer quality mattresses, but at a discount because of the way that I operate. And then you're dealing with the owner of the business. So you're not dealing with a commission salesperson, and that is what I find most people who buy from me is what they praise me for, is being able to talk to me, and I'm not pushy.
Right.
You're not dealing with a commission pushy salesperson that you typically find. People put off buying a mattress, I think, because they feel like it's going to be like going to buy a car. Mm-hmm. You're dealing with money-hungry individuals who want to make the sale, and so there's a lot of pressure. They put you on the most expensive thing, and, it's just, you don't get that when you shop in here. I help you find a mattress at your budget for your needs that, works for you.
That's awesome.
Pressure.
Yeah, because I was going to say that those, I have nothing against it because people need to make money working. But yeah, those commission-based sales, they get a little pushy. Like, I've been there.
Yeah,
and I love the model. Of
me
by
too.
Appointment only, especially in the mattress industry, because you drive by like Mattress Firm, and you never see a car in the parking lot. And I can't imagine just working there and just not doing anything, but you're getting paid as a former business owner, because I used to own a couple of restaurants, having employees sitting around doing nothing, and then writing that paycheck kind of irks me a little bit. So I thought the idea of by appointment only for buying mattresses is a great model.
Well, and it kind of gives me more of a boutique concierge type of service, and that is my goal. Like, my target audience is more or less like interior designers and realtors who want to send their customers to someone who is knowledgeable and who is not going to be giving them pressure to buy a specific item, but also it's just more of a relaxing environment. And I do have mattresses to fit all budgets. My cheapest queen is $225, but my most expensive is $3,000. So I have that large range, but my goal is to appeal to, the individual who wants to buy quality at a discount.
And when you got into the mattress business, did you know anything about mattresses?
I did not know
So you had to
anything.
learn everything
Yes.
about springs, box springs, all that.
Yeah, yes, right. And I still feel like I have so much learning to do. I really could invest a little more time in really getting into the nitty gritty. There's so many different manufacturers. They all have their different proprietary foams and their different spring units, and there's a lot that goes into making a mattress. And I still have so much that I could learn. There's this course that I thought about taking, and I would like to then call myself Dr. Sleep after I take it, because it's a whole thing that correlates somehow between, they train you on the sleep in general, and then how that also kind of ties into a mattress and whatnot. So that is on my 2025 agenda, is to take that course. It's like a 3-month course.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'll be Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, because it's like when you look for mattresses, you're like, well, you got firm, you got I don't even know all the terms, but it's for side sleepers, for stomach sleepers. It just seems like there's a lot of terminology and trying to find that perfect mattress.
There is, and the key thing when someone comes in, I usually ask them, how they sleep on their side, their stomach, or their back, because I don't want to put them on all of the mattresses. I'm guiding them on putting them on mattresses that I think would be good for what their body needs and what they're asking me for, because it becomes, if you lay on too many mattresses, I call it mattress drunk. Like you forget. I know all of them and I remember all of them, but someone who's never been in here, who's laid on several, they forget which ones they even laid on. It's confusing. So I only try to place them on maybe 4 or 5, not all 22, because that doesn't make sense. You only need to lay on the ones that probably fit your parameters for how you sleep, and also any ailments and aches. And something else that I try to place every person on is an adjustable base. Are you familiar with an adjustable base?
Mm-hmm.
Either of you
I have
an
one.
adjustable base?
I do.
Do you use it?
Oh, we're using it right now.
So do you elevate your head and your feet?
Oh, we're doing both. My wife just had foot surgery, so her foot is up, the back is up. I mean, I can sleep in just about any position, so I'm fine. But yeah, right now we have that. I like that zero gravity.
Zero gravity, yeah. So that is supposed to be the ideal sleep position for most people. Most people are side sleepers, and the reason that is because when you're sleeping on your side, you've got your feet, and your body's like in a V position, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it releases the pressure on the lower back when you also lift your knees. So you recreate that side sleeping position, because most people sleep on their side. But the problem with sleeping on your side is your shoulders hurt. So you wake up and you switch from one side to the other. So you're not able to have a long, deep sleep because you're moving, because you're uncomfortable from the shoulders and the hips. So they recreate that side sleeping position when you have an adjustable base, but you're on your back. So you don't have the uncomfortableness from your shoulders. You really should be able to sleep, but you have to elevate your feet. I talk to a lot of people who come in here who say, oh yeah, we have an adjustable base, we don't use it. And then I tell them how I remind them probably what they were already told when they first bought it, which is why they were sold on it, but then they forget that they need to elevate their head and their feet, and they need to get in that V position. If you just elevate your head, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not sleeping how it was intended. So you need to always elevate your head and your feet and get in that zero gravity position, which is a preset position on many adjustable bases, but it may not be the exact right one for you, but that's a good place to start, and then you modify from there. But yes, you can recreate the no pressure on the lower back, but being a back sleeper. But it is like anything, you have to make yourself do it for about a week or two to get used to it. If you are a side sleeper, automatically you want to go to your side. Yeah. But with the adjustable base and switching to one, if you're used to sleeping on your side, you have to sleep on your back on the adjustable, and you have to just make yourself do it, which is why they also have other features like massage, which is really a vibration. But like, think about cradling a baby. You're supposed to swaddle a baby and rock them. The whole like massage of the movement. If you're having trouble falling asleep, then you turn on the massage feature, which helps to relax your mind so that you can try to sleep on your back. And I tell you, if you do it, you will sleep for longer and have a deeper sleep, and you won't be waking up as often to toss and turn because of your shoulder or your hip. And that's why a lot of people I found too, like as people age, I'm thinking 60, 70, 80-year-olds who've come in here, mostly the men, but they say that, I'm more comfortable sleeping in my recliner. I sleep so well. It's because basically you're recreating that recliner position, but in your room, in your bed with the adjustable base. Yeah. Because there is that, release of that pressure of the lower back, which is what is comfortable for side sleeping. Now, stomach sleepers are few and far between. That's about 5% of people probably that come in here. I don't know how anyone can sleep on their stomach. It's just never been comfortable. I feel like I can't breathe.
Yeah.
But if you're a stomach sleeper, you need a firm mattress, which poses a problem sometimes with couples, because if one sleeps one way and one sleeps the other, then you really need two different mattresses, which is where that sleep number has come, into play. It's why it's popular, because you can change the firmness of the mattress but have the same shared sleep surface. But you can also do that, and I think this is a common misconception, that in order for my husband and I to have different sleep surfaces, we have to have a sleep number bed. But that is not true. You just need what they call a split king adjustable, meaning you each have a twin XL mattress, and you can pick different mattresses if you want, but you also have the twin XL base underneath. So when the bed is pushed together, it's the size of a king. It will fit inside of a king frame. Right. Headboard, footboard, side rails. It doesn't take up any more space than a king, but it's two twin XL mattresses that sit side by side. And so you can have your own mattress, your wife can have their own mattress, and then with the adjustable, you can elevate differently as well. That is, to me, the most ideal for anyone looking to have their own customizable sleep position, but still be in bed with their spouse.
Wow.
You don't have to have a sleep number. You can do it with any mattress that I have in here. All of mine are adjustable friendly, and all of them can be ordered in a twin XL.
Wow.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. The zero gravity position is great. That's what I use. My wife and I she likes the feet a little bit lower. I like the feet a little bit higher. But right now that she's had that foot surgery, she has to have it up high.
So you have to
but even
move
like
with her.
Yeah.
You have a solid
yeah.
mattress. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, so I can sleep in just about any position, but like I bought a bunch of lounges around the pool, and then they're all zero gravity.
Interesting, yeah.
Because
it's the ones that are like a chair, but then you lean back.
But you still it still has that, which is great because you can lean forward and it sits you back up. So it's not like trying to get out of the zero gravity position can be kind of acrobatic. But with these lounge chairs, you can lean forward and the whole thing goes forward. So it's like a chair again. And then you can just get out. But I got a couple of those which was perfect, because when we had the hurricanes, we had the power out. Since we had no AC, I slept in one of those out in the back porch.
Really? Yeah.
Because it got cooler at night. And so that's where I slept for about almost a week.
We have an L-shaped couch, and we have a generator, and so I made sure that we plugged a fan into the generator. And so my husband and I slept on the L-shaped couch, and we made a pallet in the middle and our kids slept there, and we had the one fan oscillating on all of us all night.
Yeah, but no, that's a great thing about that zero gravity, and people should definitely try that out.
There's a lot of research behind why elevating, even just if it's 5 degrees, is good for everyone. So even if you don't think the zero gravity would be ideal for you, still elevating your head more than with just a pillow. It helps open up the airway, the lungs. It's beneficial to all of your organs. There's a lot of research, which when I get my doctor's sleep, I'll be able to tell you exactly why that is. But yeah.
And technology has changed in mattress. Like that's something that somebody doesn't really think about every single day. It's like, the technology in mattresses. But the technology in mattresses has been evolving, right? With all this new studies about, zero gravity mattresses or sleeping up. Like I even notice, sometimes like if I get heartburn at night, I'm like, if I just elevate a little bit, you don't have that heartburn.
Yeah, they call them wellness spaces, and they're good for indigestion, for circulation. It's good for, of course, if you're sick, elevating as well too. But there's lots of wellness reasons to elevate your body. Lifting the feet up, is good for everyone.
Have you ever had anybody come in and they're like, I can't sleep at all. I have restless leg syndrome. Like, is there any mattresses that would help for anybody that they just can't get any sleep? An
adjustable base, I think, is what I would put that person on. And most people who have never heard of it or never laid on one, and when I put them on, almost every time I can sell that adjustable base, because people, once they get into that position and they're laying there, they're like, oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
So most people, I guess if they're not sleeping, I would recommend at least try that. Okay. But restless leg syndrome, you're supposed to take magnesium for that.
Magnesium. There you go. Got some health tips.
Right. That's one thing that I've read, and I have a friend that has that issue, and she says it's helped her.
Really? Okay. That's good
And
to
there's
know.
even like a magnesium oil, I think, that she can like rub on your
On
legs.
the leg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my problem. I have restless leg syndrome. I can't
Do
sleep
you?
for nothing. I
Do
get
you
like
take magnesium?
no,
No. Yeah.
never heard of it. That never heard that. What I was trying to say. Never heard of that tip.
Yeah, you should try and see if it helps.
Helps.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely will. Yeah, because
It's a pretty inexpensive thing to purchase.
I
Try anyways, right?
I only get like probably like 3 hours of sleep a night.
Oh, goodness. I noticed that if I start getting my legs a little restless, it's time for me to go to bed. If I feel like I need to get up and walk around, it's like, you know what? I need to.
And see, elevating the feet, I think, would help with that too. I don't know enough to say for sure, but
Right.
in my mind, that makes sense that elevating might help
Yeah.
as well. You know, I don't know much about restless leg as far as what the reasoning behind it is.
I don't
But I
either.
don't know if circulation, you know, lifting the legs
Yeah.
and helping with circulation might
Yeah,
help too.
I think
but-
I think it's more of a nerve issue. I think
Right.
like the nerves are just
Yeah.
firing, and then I just toss and turn. My wife hates it. Like, you were kicking me
So
again.
yeah, if you were on a split king and you're on your own mattress and you're tossing and turning, she's not going to feel you at all.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. That's.
So I think you need to come buy a split king adjustable with new mattresses.
I think so too. Our mattress is starting to show its age. I don't even remember when we bought it. We have a king.
It's one of those things I feel like, and I'm learning, I've learned in here, it's people don't put a lot of importance on their mattress, like on the purchase of a mattress. It's one of the things that people just always put off. And I don't know if it's because the buying of it is a stressful thing.
I think it is. Yeah.
It's such an intimate thing, your mattress, like, and it's sometimes awkward too to come in and lay in a store, and it's just a weird thing, which again, I try to be fun and make it comfortable. And most people, I can tell immediately, they're like kind of, standoffish, but as soon as I start talking to them, and I break down the barrier, and it's a fine, welcoming
Right.
environment, and they feel comfortable, and I get them to lay down. A lot of people will walk around and like push hands on the mattress, and I'm like, no, you got to get on the mattress, and I'll like jump on the mattress, and I'll lay there, and I'm like, come on, you got to lay on the bed, and so they're like, oh, okay, sure, because some people, and even some other people who are of a different culture or background than or. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but some different cultures don't want to lay on the mattress at all. And I'm like, you've got to lay on it. How are you going to test the mattress out and know that it's comfortable for you if you don't get on it? So I really have to work extra hard with some people to get them to lay on the mattress.
It's like kicking.
How can you go shop for a mattress and not lay on it?
Yeah, it's like kicking the tires of a car and then like, all right, I'll buy it.
Right.
It's like no
Or
test drive.
Don't test drive a vehicle
Don't test drive it.
before
Yeah.
you buy it. Yeah, that doesn't
just
make sense.
the-
Which is, again,
Kick the tires.
you have all of these online companies, which I do sell. Puffy and Helix are two of the companies that I sell that were online only for a while, but then they realized that people need to test and lay on mattresses, and we're getting too many returns, not because they don't provide a quality product, but it's not right for everybody. And so people have the option after even 100 days, I think, with most, but some companies offer a 365-day turnaround. So after a year, if you decide you don't like your mattress, you can return it. And so as a business owner, can you imagine all of the loss and revenue from having to accept or refund all of these mattresses that you're not going to take back and sell again? It's just a complete loss, and you have to just work out the refund. So they realize that they can eliminate some of those returns by then going into retailers. And so I've been specific about bringing in a couple of those options because they're top 10 if you Google any, last year, this year, Puffy and Helix will be top 10 almost always on any website, including CNET. And now you can go into a physical store, and I'm the only one in Brunswick that offers these brands, and you can try them out, which is what I'm hoping also when I go to Vegas in January, is to bring in some other brands that maybe people have been, there's all of the Nectar, Purple, all of that.
Yeah.
There's limitations to what you can bring in depending on, because they have contracts with certain companies. Like I can't bring in Purple because they have a contract, I believe, with Mattress Firm, and they're only in Mattress Firms, But yeah, you need to be able to test a mattress before you purchase it.
Yeah, I've seen people kind of touch and push down. Maybe because they feel like it's rude to just hop on a bed because it's not your bed.
Right.
I don't know, but I don't have a problem getting on it. But I can see that. But what about inside the mattresses? I mean, people just kind of, that has changed a lot of what you can feel inside. I mean, when I was a kid, it was pretty much just springs and a
Yeah, that's
quilted top.
the traditional mattress is that interwoven spring unit, the mattress unit that basically when you take everything off, it's just one sheet all together. It's just this whole metal rectangle left over. But now that's kind of gone away, and that's why it was a really bouncy center because it's all woven together. So when you're on this side, you're feeling that side, and when you get that dip, it's not coming back up. But now they have the individual coils, which is what is in everything that I have in here, and mostly I don't even know that they really make those mattresses anymore, except for some of the I think my least expensive has that traditional unit in it because it's cheaper to make, and that does have a 1-year warranty versus 10. But the individual coils is what you'll find in most mattresses if it's not an all foam mattress, and the benefit of that is no motion transfer for one because each spring is separated. So if you're laying on this side, you're pushing down just those springs. The ones in the middle aren't being pushed, and then your spouse is laying on the other side. So you shouldn't really feel each other move. So that's what's inside of most of these hybrid mattresses, which is the most commonly purchased mattress. I have very limited options for all foam in here because most people don't like all foam, I've realized. And that's what you can find on the internet is a lot of cheap all foam mattresses, compressed and rolled and made in China and shipped to you on Wayfair and Amazon for, $100 or $200, but the quality is not there. But an all foam mattress, I do have a very nice one that's like a Tempur-Pedic. The company who makes the foam that goes into Tempur-Pedic is the company that I have, which is M. Lowley. But all foam tends to just be different, and it's where you lay on it and you just stop. There's no give back, there's no kick back because there's no spring. So most people prefer a spring, but then we've, over time with technology, they've went away from that traditional unit to the individual coils because it conforms to your body better having those individual coils, and then there's no motion transfer. And then they have different thickness, different gauge steel units. The higher the gauge, the thicker isn't that how it is, thicker?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or is it lower? Lower the gauge, I forget. Lower, yeah. So the lower the gauge, the thicker the steel, right? Yep. So the better. So I've got a lot of them that have 12 and 13 gauge steel. When you go to a cheaper mattress, you're talking, 15, 16. So better quality depending on, costs more money because it costs the manufacturer more money, but it's better quality. And the same thing with foams. All of the foams and everything that I carry in here are Certi Pure, which is the most, free of most chemicals. It's the cleanest chemical made foam. It's not a natural foam. But then I also have mattresses that have latex, and latex is the most premium thing that you can have in a mattress. If you get an all latex mattress, I don't have any at this time, but you're talking like $6,000 for a queen.
Wow.
So my hope is to get there, one day to offer some of those because I've got a lot of clients that are willing to spend that. But I do have mattresses with latex in them. It's Talalay latex, which comes from a rubber tree, and so it never deteriorates. It's all natural. And I've got some mattresses with wool in them too. So if you're looking for something a little more natural, the Puffy has a lot of those features. That is my next mattress I'm going to bring home. I'm just still trying to convince my husband of the split king because we don't have that currently. He and I cannot agree, so we need to split it.
Now, you mentioned buying a mattress online or these companies that just ship. Like you just go online, you're like, oh, that looks like a good mattress, and how's that been with competition? Like, have you seen more people like staying away from going into a store?
I do think since they introduced online, the ability to purchase mattresses online, I think it's about 50% of the market. So yes, definitely it's had an impact on retailers for sure. But again, if you talk to most people, I guess it's a mixed bag, but most people still want to be able to try and test and feel and see a mattress before they buy it. So I think that the brick and mortar retail mattress store will never go away. Hopefully, right? But yeah, I don't think it will go away.
I guess I'm old school because I just couldn't buy a mattress online because it's one of those things where you have to kind of test it out. It's a big investment.
It is, yeah.
But I guess, there are a lot of options that are really inexpensive. And so for someone who doesn't want to go through the whole process of of walking into a store, dealing with a salesperson, they don't want to spend a lot of money, then it is a good option for some who are looking for a budget-friendly cost or, budget-friendly mattress and the ease of purchasing. I get why people buy online, but it just depends on...
I just question the quality.
Yeah.
And, the quality of the mattress determines the quality of your sleep. And more studies are saying how much how important sleep is to people for overall health, for mental health, all kinds of things. Like you need your 8 hours, you need this, you need to have a restful sleep. We all know that when you're sick or you're healing, as much rest as you can get, much sleep as you can get, that's when your body does most of the healing that you need.
I always tell people, because I try to break the barriers down. Someone doesn't want to spend $1,000 on a mattress because that's too much. But the only things we need to survive are food, water, and sleep. So we need to invest in our sleep, and to do that, you spend it on a mattress. A mattress gets so much use. You use it for 6 to 8 hours a day, 365 days a year for 10 years. Some people 20 years, and some people don't understand, if you break it down, let's say $1,000, you're talking $100 a year to use something 6 hours a day, 365 days a year. We spend more than $100 on so many other things that don't tie into our health. You go out to eat and have a nice dinner, it's $100, and that's a one-time expense.
Right.
You're not using that food every day to continue to feed you. So why not spend $100 a year on a mattress? It's an investment in your health, and it really does go a long way. Really, there's really no price that you can put on it. Even if it's $5,000, $500 a year, you're only spending on a mattress.
What would you say the typical lifespan of a mattress is?
So most mattresses are warranted for 10 years, so 10, but they say about year 8 is when you should really start to say, okay, let me think about this mattress. How is it? Is it really still supporting me well? And then the other thing is, too, the hygiene behind a mattress, because, again, you can't wash it. So think about all the things our bodies do, all of the bacteria and the microscopic things you cannot see that are going into that mattress that you cannot get out. And then our bodies, the average human sweats 26 gallons a year while they sleep. So all of that moisture is going into your mattress. That's why a mattress protector is so important. And I try to tell everyone that buys a mattress to please buy a protector, because we cannot wash our mattress. You can try to clean the surface. You can vacuum it, but you cannot get inside the mattress unless you take it apart, and then you've ruined it. So you need to put a cover on the surface that you can launder and wash, so you can keep most of those things from going in the mattress.
Right.
Plus, most mattresses have a 10-year warranty, but if they have a stain, that voids the warranty, and that's
Wow.
not just like a mattress firm gimmick to sell you a mattress protector. You think about, if you spill something, you're compromising. How are you compromising the foams? And you might have rust now on the springs.
Right.
The mattress is not going to be, its integrity is compromised, so they're not going to warranty it any further. So a mattress protector is also like an insurance policy for your mattress, but it's just sanitary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Your body. Because I've delivered myself, and yesterday I drove all the way to Baxley and back with my friend's son, or with a college kid, to help me to deliver a mattress. I also delivered one downtown. I'm trying not to deliver as much, but I've been doing this for 8 years. I've been in every household out there that exists, and I've seen everything in every house. And the mattresses that come out of some homes are so lovely. I don't know. So mattress protectors will keep all of that, will keep your mattress clean.
So you deliver, so do you also, I guess, take away mattresses?
Yes.
So what do we, I guess I'm just going to ask an environmental question. Mm-hmm. So what happens to all these old mattresses?
So if it is so unusable that I don't want anyone else to use it, right? I feel like it just needs to be tossed away. So I take it to Liberty Roll-Off and Recycling here in Brunswick. I honestly don't know what they do with it from there. It's a dump.
Right.
I don't know what they do with it from there. I know a lot of people, if they don't want to pay the fee to dispose of it, which is fairly expensive. They went up recently. It's $70 at Liberty Roll-Off. But in Jessup yesterday, we took the mattress I took out of that home, and I stopped in Jessup to dispose of it. It was $12. We really are living the big city life here with these prices. In Brunswick, Georgia, is the big city. $70 versus $12.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't know what they do. I'm sure there's regulations but I put it in there with everything else. But as far as other mattresses, if I'm taking it out of a home and the home seems clean and the mattress seems decent enough for someone who could use, could use a mattress that maybe doesn't have one, or so I take it to Hello Goodbye most often, because they accept mattresses and they'll sell them for $25 if it's a king. And also I really like Hello Goodbye because it's a nonprofit. All of the money that they receive, it gets invested back into another local nonprofit. They pick different ones each month that they will give all of their revenue to.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great place.
But I think people, otherwise, if they were doing it themselves, they burn it.
Wow, yeah.
That's what I hear, But then you can't really burn the metal, I guess. I don't
No,
know.
yeah, or even,
And I don't know if you're allowed to do that legally, right?
yeah,
I don't know.
I
but
can't imagine burning if you had like a latex mattress. That's like probably like burning a tire, I would assume.
You could. I'm sure the metal coils could be recyclable.
Yeah.
So
and
you
I
could
burn all the outside and then take that to.
Well, just burn, just
Or
cut around it.
throw it away.
And,
that's probably why you
then
always
the material
see-
stuff could be bagged up and thrown into the trash can, and you could. I think there was an episode on Dirty Jobs, remember that TV show, where they had a place where they did that with mattresses. They would cut them, they would take the metal out for recycling. The foam would go somewhere else. The fabric would go somewhere else. And some of it was recycled, and some of it wasn't.
Well, I wish we had a facility here that would do that, but I'm sure it's a costly thing.
Yeah, that's probably why you see mattresses just dumped on the side of the
right,
road.
Because nobody knows what to do with them.
Yeah.
But there is that Liberty roll-off. I think a lot of people don't realize we have that service here.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's an important thing to know, because I think a lot of people hang on to the mattresses because they don't know how to
yeah.
how to get
I
rid
I
of
think
it.
didn't
that's-
offer that service for the longest time because I was doing all the deliveries and I did not want to touch the mattresses, ideally, like sometimes. But then I realized that I need to be able to offer that service because people don't know what to do with them. And
Yeah.
I can't compete unless I offer that. And now pretty much probably at least 50% of the time, we're taking away the mattresses. A lot of times, though, people will say, oh, we're giving it to our child or our son or daughter or friend, or they have a purpose for it that they know it's still usable. They just want a new one themselves, But yeah, if they don't want anything to do with it, then I take it away.
I think that's probably the one issue why we haven't really bought a new mattress is like, what are we gonna do with this old one? I think that's
Yeah,
probably
I can take it for you.
that's probably like one of the maybe that's another reason why some people just don't go out to mattress shopping as much as they think about like, man, I got this big king size bed. I know they got it in here, but like now they got to get it out of here, drag it through the house.
Yeah.
And
I've been in some pretty compromising situations with mattresses and deliveries because I don't think, like, especially older homes were not equipped to have even queen, but especially king size mattresses
Yeah.
go up the stairs with the way that the roof is
Yeah.
low, and then you've got the narrow, stairwell. And so we've had to, my husband and I'm breaking a sweat, shoving, bending, pushing mattresses up, stairwells and telling the customer that I'm sorry if we scratch your walls or whatever, like we can't get it up unless we shove it. There was one time on Jekyll that we delivered to a condo and it was the second floor. So my husband and I were on the bottom floor and we lifted the mattress, the king, up over towards the balcony, and then the couple was up there holding on to it. My husband ran up the stairs and helped them, and they pulled it over the balcony so that we could get it into the upstairs bedroom of that condo.
I think architects should really take in consideration the size of mattresses that go into some of
I
these.
know.
but you did mention like some older homes. Like when I lived in Vermont, the house that we lived in was built in 1912 or 1921. They had two different years on it. But you talked about the stairs with the sloping roof. We had that, and we bought a queen mattress to get. They had such a hard time just getting a queen size mattress up the stairs, and then they had that tight.
And a box spring's not going to happen.
Yeah,
They
it
have
was
split queen box springs
Yeah.
to help with that.
I think
problem.
that's what we had to do because
Yeah.
there was no way to get that up and then turn that corner to get in
I mean,
there.
so back in the early 1900s or whatever, the largest mattress was a double or a full.
Yeah.
Two people sleep. You have a single and a double. That's it. You have
Yep.
a twin or a full. But now we have, queens, kings. There's something called an Alaskan king, which is like
Alaskan. I
think
heard
it's
count.
like two fulls side by side. So a California king. That's another thing. A California king is not larger than a king. An Eastern king is what it's called.
Oh,
People think-
sneaky.
And when people come in here and they're like, I have a California king, I'm like, do you really have a California king? Are you sure? Well, it's really big. And I'm like, well, that doesn't mean it's a California king. It's probably an Eastern king. Like, you need to measure and go home because I'm not going to place an order for a California king until I know what the measurements are of your mattress. Because so many people think, well, they have this large bed and it's a California king. But a California king is made for the tall person. So they take 4 inches off of the width of an Eastern king. So you're losing width, which is what most people prefer. And they're adding it to the length. So it's 4 inches longer than the Eastern king, but it's 4 inches narrower. Like, what do you care more about, the width or the length? I mean, unless you're 6'5", the length shouldn't matter. So 6'5" and taller, that's when you probably should need a California king. But you're losing width. So I care more about my width space
Right,
than my length.
yeah.
Nobody sleeps straight out,
Yeah.
Everyone's
Everyone's got that. Like you were mentioning the V-shaped side sleeping.
right.
So whatever happened to water beds?
They still make them, and they're very expensive. Yeah, my in-laws had a waterbed, and I remember laying on it one time when I was dating my husband, like, just because I hadn't been on one before, I think, or maybe it had been a long time, and it was so strange. I remember my in-laws, though, that they hadn't had that massive frame that held the waterbed, and they still used it when they put a traditional mattress in. I remember that, too. But, yeah, waterbeds still exist. I'm sure there's some benefit to that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember growing up in the 80s and 90s, everyone's like,
Right.
waterbed.
Yeah.
That was like the Grey Poupon of the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I think when someone thinks of the most premium thing, I think it's still that Sleep Number.
Yeah.
That Sleep Number
Yeah.
brand, yeah.
But I think, again, most people think it's because that's the only way I can customize my sleep setting, and it's not. You can get that in a normal mattress with that split king, or even just an adjustable base.
It's
Right.
the advertising that they do.
It is, yeah.
It really is.
And that's why you pay. That's the other thing. That's why you pay so much for these large brands like Serta, Simmons, Beauty Rest, and which is Simmons, but Tempur-Pedic. You're paying a lot, not because of maybe necessarily the quality. The quality's good, but you're paying for their advertising. They've got so much money invested in advertising nationally that in order to pay their bills, they have to mark it up in the mattresses. And again, that's where I come into play. And I don't have the overhead again of all of that advertising, and so you can get a good quality mattress for lesser money because I'm not spending that much money on advertising. But yeah, Serta and Simmons filed bankruptcy. They joined forces and they filed bankruptcy recently, and I feel like the quality has gone down some because those national companies care so much about how many they can sell and not so much about the quality. And so that's why my Georgia-made mattresses, I really like. It's my more budget-friendly option, but I really like the business because it's a 5-generation family-owned business. The 2 daughters work in there, and it was their grandfather who started it.
Wow.
And their sons work with them, their husbands, and they're small, but they service about 6 states, and they are growing, but I can call and talk to the owner or the CEO of the company and with a complaint, and I'm going to, they're going to listen to me and they're going to fix it.
Nice.
And they make a good quality mattress. Everything's made in the USA, from the spring units to the foams. And so there's a lot of quality control versus when you are ordering all of your items overseas, you don't really know that everything is, the quality is possibly compromised because they're telling you this is in it, but is it really? Nobody was there, hands on deck to see what was happening with it.
I've seen that with furniture.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name the company, but it was a company that they made their furniture, from wood, timber, lumber from the United States for the longest time, and then they decided to move production over to China, and you could see as soon as that stuff started coming in, you could see the difference in quality.
Mm-hmm.
Like it went from high premium, nice ornate lumber timber to like this really OSB board
or whatever.
Yeah, and you're talking about a well-named luxury brand furniture company, and then their product just went
Oh yeah. Well, that's what happens. Like with Serta or Simmons, they're about quantity. So when they're buying their raw materials, they're buying in such large quantity that you cannot inspect all those coils.
Mm-hmm.
You can't inspect all that fabric. So their margin of error, the margin of quality varies. With the Georgia-based one, they're on a much smaller scale. They can look at all that stuff.
They only have the one plant that they manufacture from, and they have a quality control person that's has a staff that's their only job is to make sure everything is meeting the standards.
So if there's a coil that's not right or came in rusty or something like that,
ideally they catch it.
They catch it, whereas Serta Simmons have an accepted amount of
threshold
that's
much larger than
of defects.
Yeah.
And that makes it frustrating. Same thing with the furniture. Once you take it out of the United States, they can't get that kind of wood in China. They don't have those kind of trees. It's hard to say if they even have any trees really that can be used to build furniture. So they're outsourcing, and this particle board is basically just sawdust and shavings dipped in glue and all pressed together.
Yeah.
And it's just cruddy stuff. But you find that kind of issue with these things, and you lose that level of quality that we're so used to having, or we used to use. I think we're one of the few generations that remember what good quality products
Wood,
used to be
yeah.
with wood
Furniture,
or mattresses or any of that stuff, even cars and computers.
Because it used to be different, yeah. With the big brands, they used to make a better quality
Yeah.
product, but then they grew so large, and the advertising behind it changes the whole structure of the way the business operates, and
Well,
so they lose some of that
Yeah,
quality.
my mom had the same refrigerator for I don't know how many years, and I probably went through like 2 or 3, but she still had the same refrigerator because it was built differently.
Right.
My mom and dad still have the same washer and dryer that
Yeah.
we used to when I was growing up.
Without the computers, right?
And we just
Problem.
bought one 3 years ago, and the transmission like disintegrated on the washing machine.
I'm sure it was made overseas, probably.
Whirlpool, you're on notice. I'm telling you right now, I have no problem throwing you under the bus. We had a Whirlpool that lasted for 15 years, Shannon and I, and that thing was put through the paces because Shannon for a long time had her own cleaning business. So I mean, rags and towels and sheets every single day in high volume, and this thing ran like a champ. It finally died. I mean, it definitely paid for itself. We get this new one, and the transmission goes out, and there's oil leaking on the floor, and Whirlpool's like, well, that's your problem, not mine. Like, oh, it's going to be your problem.
That's the other thing with doing business with larger companies is when you have an issue, it's so hard to resolve.
Yeah.
And so with me, you're calling me, and I'm going to help you fix whatever the problem is. You don't have to go through some 1-800 number and press this and press that and hope that you find a person to talk to that is American speaking. And a lot of times too, with the larger companies like Serta and Simmons, they will make you measure like the depth of the problem, if there's like an indention, and they make you go through all of these hoops to service that warranty. And most of the time, people just give up because they're just don't want to deal all of that.
Yeah.
Right.
If you do have an issue with a mattress from me, which is very few and far between, thankfully, because I'm very specific about doing my research on what I bring in here, like the Georgia-made company, they have a less than 1% warranty claim rate on their books. Like, I'm sorry to keep throwing Serta and Simmons under the bus, but
That's okay.
Everybody thinks that that's such a great brand, but they have like a 7 to 8% warranty claim, and that's just those people who actually take the time and effort to do the warranty, and that's not that many, I don't think, because they get frustrated for the process. But yeah, you're dealing with me if you have an issue, and if there is, I mean, even if I have to eat the problem, or take a loss, I'm going to make sure that you're happy.
There is a
purchase.
Serta. I think it's Serta or Simmons out in Waycross.
They closed.
They did
Because
close.
they filed bankruptcy about 2 years ago, and so they've closed down some of their plants. That's happening. Like, did you see that Big Lots here
And
is-
Party City.
Big Lots is closing? Yeah.
Party City announced yesterday they're closing all their stores. So no more Party City and no more Big
We
Lots.
have that here, don't we?
We do.
Yep.
Well, Big Lots sells mattresses, so I can't say that I'm too upset about that. But
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing with that overstock mattress that came in. I was worried about that, but they
Yeah.
lasted about 2 years and they closed because everything they got was like secondhand. They had a yellow label, which meant they were in someone's home at some point, and it got like refurbished, and so there was no warranty. So I was able to make sure people understood that. But still, people are still always going to buy a budget mattress if that's all they can afford. But I also was happy that they didn't last, because I mean, I want competition is good, but if I'm sending someone to buy something that I can't provide them here, I always send to a local, like Jessup Furniture across the street, or Luck Furniture,
Right.
I don't know that they do the same for me, but I prefer to tell people to go shop at other local stores.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get better service.
Now, speaking about like advertising and marketing, how is your advertising and marketing competition with all the other mattress stores?
So I don't invest a lot in advertising. I'm more like boots on the ground, guerrilla style of marketing, where I'm very involved in the local chamber of commerce, and so I do a lot of the one-on-one networking type of business. I do some social media, like I do boosted posts sometimes, and I do find that that is helpful, but that is where most of my advertising dollars go is Facebook, pretty much. I've paid them a pretty penny over the years, but in order to be shown, you have to pay. You can't
Right.
just organic reach is not really a thing unless you do these silly reels and things that gain attention. And so now I'm trying to figure out how to be a
Social media.
40-year-old living in a 20-year-old world, like
Right.
as far as
Yeah.
like the understanding behind creating, you know, attractive marketing material, which is funny things, but how do you make mattresses funny? And so I don't know. I mean, I try to post on social media, but it's so easy to get burnt out, especially
Yeah.
with me being the only person doing it all, and the creativeness
Yeah, and I'm gonna
behind that is difficult.
take a step back of what we were talking about, like about online sales and people coming in person. Now, you know, as you kind of see we talk about social media and the generation and how kids are now. Do you see it like, you know, more people are like, well, I find it easier just to buy online than just to come in store?
The
Like,
younger generations are more apt to purchase a mattress online and are sold on the advertising that they're fed through social media and, you know, all of the digital advertising. So it definitely is working in the younger crowd. I mean, my average person that buys from me is definitely, you know, probably 40 and above. And so that's my target market, is the older generation. I mean, I even do advertising with the Brunswick News because that older generation who still reads the newspaper, like my dad is one, you know, that he's 71, and really it's probably 60 and above is like their average reader, right? But those are the people who are already established and who already, you know, have the means to buy a mattress without needing to finance maybe or whatever, but they are going to hold on to that little clipping even for a year, and they're going to bring it in here a year from now and say, hey, I saw this and I'm going to buy from you because I knew when I needed a mattress, you know, I was going to come to you. And I've had people do that. I've had people who've held on to my little ad for a couple of years even and contacted me to say, I held on to this until I was ready to buy. But it's, different advertising appeals to different generations for sure. And I do think that the younger generation is buying those online brands, which again is why hopefully, you know, by having some of the online brands in here, I'm appealing to those individuals
Right.
too. And I know that I am because I've had people say, you know, I was looking at the Helix, but I wanted to try it, and I saw that you had one here. And I've had people drive like an hour even to try a
Wow.
Helix or a Puffy because I'm the closest
Yeah.
that actually has it in the store. I mean, they still sell online, but also they are selling to retailers too.
Yeah.
So I may have some more options that are online also that I might bring in just so I can appeal to
right. Yeah, because
that younger generation.
Yeah. Yeah, because like we're the generation where like, I don't know, I feel skeptical buying something online without actually touching it, feeling it, or
And the
knowing.
younger
Yeah.
guys don't really care.
And do you
Yeah.
also, I hate to word it this way or even say it this way, but do you think it's also like people don't interact as much anymore?
Yeah, isn't it sad?
Like it's like, well, I don't know if I really want to go in and talk to somebody.
Talk to someone, right? Yeah, definitely. I think that's also the appeal with shopping online, and that's probably about half of the younger generation out there is they don't want to have that interaction.
Right. I think, you know, they have that image or that thought, well, is that car salesman mentality when you walk into a store. And when you come here, you don't have that. I think people miss that, and they make a general observation. Well, we went over to Ashley, went over to Mattress Firm, and it was like such a hard sell on this, and it made me feel uncomfortable. I don't want to go into another store, but this is not like that.
Right.
And that's what I can understand buying your printer ink online, but when it comes to something like a mattress,
Which is, again, intimate and personal, kind of, you know, yeah.
you know, I find myself, I know some people think it's okay, but I could not sit there and order something like that online.
Yeah.
But you offer something that I think people don't know, which is you can come here and this is a no pressure. This is no, you need to buy this mattress today because, you know, I got 5 other people looking to buy this mattress today.
Right.
You know, no, it's not like that. It's a definitely different environment, and I think that makes it a more enjoyable experience. Yeah, I'd say enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you read my like Google reviews, you know how now AI gives you like a summary of the reviews all lumped together at the very top. It says basically this is no pressure, friendly service, you know, it's all very positive, and I think it's a good summary of what you find in here. So go read that, right? Go read that AI summary of my reviews, and it'll tell you exactly what you're going to experience when you come in here to shop with me.
You walk in here and it's very inviting. It's, you know, it's the mattresses are laid out. It just looks like you get some art on the wall, which is really cool.
And it's for sale. Everything in here
art's
is for sale. Yeah.
So you have art on the wall for sale, which is really cool. But it just makes it feel like there's no pressure here. That you can come in here on your appointment.
Although walk-ins are welcome if I'm here, yes.
And find a mattress that will fit your needs. It's better than going to some place where it's just like buy.
And my number for my business is textable. So I have 2 numbers on my one personal cell phone. So when you're calling the business, you're calling my cell phone.
Wow.
And you can text my phone. So again, for that younger generation who doesn't want to have a conversation, they can text me if they want. And I do have a lot of text, even with older generation, like as far as deliveries. That's another thing, with like, we're all used to Comcast, or I don't know if Mattress Firm works this way, but they give you like a 4-hour window when they're going to deliver.
And they never show up.
I give you a 30-minute notice. I give you a day, I tell you a day, and then I remind you of the day, and then I tell you 30 minutes before we're coming that we're coming, or, you know exactly when we're coming. You don't have to block off this 4-hour window to wait for your mattress. It's just different working with a local business than some of the big guys.
Yeah. So.
We always promote local, but this is something that's really unique because I haven't seen this anywhere else, to be honest. And to come in and have a no pressure environment, especially with a big investment like this, makes it really, really attractive. I mean, we're going to be in the market for a mattress pretty soon because we were kind of talking before we went on about the spare bedroom, and the mattress that we have in the spare bedroom is just. And that mattress has been through. It's old. I think it's probably getting close to 20 years old. But with dogs and cats and bed bugs, we had a bed bug bout because we bought a piece of furniture from a secondhand store.
Furniture and not even a mattress, right?
Yeah. And all of a sudden, and Shannon was one. She was getting feasted on, and I didn't get anything until one night. I'm like, let me just look. And they have the handles on the side. I opened this handle. I was like, oh my God. And we just went,
you had to toss it out probably, right? Or no?
No,
just treated it. I don't know.
We treated it because it wasn't like a massive
right.
infestation, but we got the hypoallergenic bag to put the whole thing in. We sprayed the heck out of it with this stuff, and then there was this powders that's broken up seashells, which is like broken glass for these for these things. We put it all around the bed.
It's like the mask is.
So you're way better than me. I would have said that thing is going out the door, and I'm getting another one.
But yeah, it's
because of the work involved with trying to eradicate them. Yeah, I dealt with fleas one time in my house because I have a cat and dog. One time and one time only. Because
me too.
So I'm doing this again. But man, that was hard because they have a life cycle, and you got to deal with that. It's not a one-time thing. It's like you got to retreat again. Weeks later.
Well, that little Lily the cat. We have a new kitten. She's not new right now. She's almost Lily, but when she was found in the backyard, she was probably only a couple of weeks old. And she couldn't come in the house yet. I mean, she was just covered in fleas, and it just took. And she was too little for treatment. So a little warm water and some Dawn and the flea comb and every day. And it was like we were counting the fleas. We found that if you put her in there like a bath, those fleas don't do well with water, and so we were able to get more off by just. But
cats don't typically like water though either. Unless you get them used to it, yeah.
Since she was little, she really didn't have much. But now that she's in that formative years with probably a teenage, the I want to attack your feet mode all day long. She can get the treatment now. But we have 3 cats that live inside, so it's always a flea thing going on.
Yeah, they're a pain. We had fleas, and it wasn't even our fault. That we had somebody brought in got a new puppy or new dog, and they're like, "Oh, come in." They wanted to show us, so we let them in the house, and that dog we didn't realize had fleas, and it got in the house. And I know your pain. It took forever. I even at one point, because they don't like cold, so I turned the air conditioner on just to try to freeze them out of the house.
With the bed bugs, it's heat. I saw a treatment where it's
I've seen a whole house, like they cover, I guess if it's a large infestation, they cover the whole house with like a tent, and they you have to leave, and they do this whole high heat thing on the whole entire house.
Yeah, like 200 degrees. It's like it's crazy. I saw one of those exterminator, like Billy the Exterminator show or something like that. And they have these big giant heaters, like propane powered heaters, and the whole house is like 200 degrees. Like, oh my god.
We're going to switch gears and start talking about little itty bitty critters. I want to talk about pillows. How important are pillows?
So yeah, pillows and sheets. You know, a lot of people worry about being hot with their mattress, and so there's a lot of things they've done to mattresses to help make them cooler. But it is, our bodies heat up when we sleep. Foam does hold heat. There's no way around it. But foam, there's benefits with foam. So to get a mattress without foam would be silly. But what matters also is your pillow for keeping you cool and also supportive, and then the sheets. What you put on top of you is almost more important than what you're putting under you as far as the heat factor if you get hot. So you need to be using bamboo sheets, which I sell. But bamboo sheets are natural, right? Don't be putting, obviously cotton and bamboo is going to be the best because it's made from the earth. It's more breathable and it's just better for your body. Linen sheets is something that's really good, but I imagine those might be hot. I haven't done that yet, but they're high. They vibrate high frequency thing, and they're linen. So I would like to get those for myself. And my husband said no, too hot. But bamboo sheets and pillows. Pillows, yeah, I have a pillow that I sell a lot of. It's for side sleepers because, again, most people are side sleepers. And so it has a cutout where your shoulder goes in. Most people come in here and they're like, oh, it's for my neck. I'm like, no, it's for your shoulder. So you lay on your side and you're able to get your neck up higher on the pillow in the center of the pillow so that you can have better support versus we all sit kind of at the edge of our pillow. So it allows you to kind of put your shoulder up in there and get further onto the pillow to give your neck better support. But yeah, it does. Your pillow definitely matters. Some people, it's a very person specific thing though. Some people want a really low loft pillow, which I personally don't like. And some people want, a really firm pillow, or some want a really soft pillow. I think it really is an individual preference, but I would recommend most people to have sort of in that medium range. I have the same pillow that has the cutout. It has this really neat foam. It's made with water versus chemicals. It's made in Italy, and it's got this really neat feel and look, and it's cool. And then also the cover is cool as well. So there's a lot of cool features to that. But yeah, a pillow is just as important as the mattress. A lot of us keep our pillows for a really long time and they get really dingy. I myself included, even though I own a mattress store, I have some pillows that really I would be embarrassed to show you. But the one I use for my head is one of the pillows that I carry. And so, the side pillows and the ones that you kind of hug onto, don't really matter. But the one that you use for your head, absolutely. Yeah, pillows, so I do have different options for that.
Pillow shopping's so funny because you go to Walmart or Sam's Club or somewhere and there's here's all these different pillows. Pick one. Good luck.
And most of those are going to be, although I think probably they offer some foam pillows now in all of the big stores, but the foam is a really unique feel. I'll show you guys before you leave, versus that fibrous pillow that's not very supportive. Yeah. Like an all foam pillow is something that everyone should invest in.
Yeah, I agree.
For support, because it cradles your neck and your head versus it kind of sinking. It's being supported.
Yeah, I've always found pillow shopping so weird.
But then the sheets that I sell, the company, it's called DreamFit. DreamFit sheets, they were made with the adjustable base in mind because they have the built-in bands on all four corners. So they do not come off. What sold me, I was in Phoenix at a mattress convention, and they had the mattress being held up with bungees by the sheet. The sheet was just being clipped. And it was the mattress, should have fallen out, but it wasn't because it has those four bands. So it's pretty neat. Your mattress, if that annoys you, if your sheets come off your bed, I can help you fix that problem.
Especially now,
especially with adjusting too.
We have it raised so much. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh god, I gotta
put it on
so
there.
You need some DreamFit sheets.
So I'm gonna bring up just something on the more comedic side here. Oh, you see all those memes about mattress stores being money laundering fronts.
Yes, I have been asked before if that. I've been asked, or people have told me, especially when I was in my other store over there, it was a little less finished as it is in here. It had carpet and the walls were like the original walls. I didn't really invest a lot, and it kind of just felt not so nice. And so, and I'm by appointment, so it's always closed. So being next to Cilantro's, which is very busy, people would say that I always come by and you're never there. And I just thought that must be money laundering place. But yeah, I think that's a common, thought of people is this is a way to do that. Yeah. But I'm not doing that, I promise.
Yeah, I always see those memes.
Because no one's ever in the store shopping, right? No matter what store it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is one of the reasons I decided, like, it didn't interest me, mattresses. I'm like, that doesn't sound fun. But then the fact that every person, no matter what walk of life they come from, no matter what their, background is, everyone needs a mattress. And I know it's an industry that is forever going to be
That's right.
there and necessary, So there's a lot less risk. It's a pretty stable market.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those necessities in life. Someone eventually is going to need a mattress. So
you brought up the point about sleeping hot or sleeping cold. A lot of times, for me, I'm a furnace. I cannot have sheets on top of me. I can't have anything on top of me, even in the wintertime. I want the fan on and the window open.
Yeah.
And of course, my wife it's the middle of summer, and she has these giant knitted socks that are...
I can't stand sleeping socks.
3 inches thick or something. It's like made for Eskimo, and covers and she doesn't have a big comforter on, but I mean she has the sheet and she has another blanket on top of her, and of course one of the cats are sleeping like right next to her anyway, so that's going to be a heat. So it is that. I mean, you must see that a lot with people coming.
Yeah, and it's actually the opposite in my household. I have the fan on. I'm hot. I think I almost feel like, because of hormones in women sleep hotter than men, probably. If you were to test that theory, I don't know if that's true. But yeah, most men, I think, do sleep hotter. But for me, I sleep hotter. And so I have the bamboo sheets, and it does make a difference. But I still find that I'm hot. I do have all of the cooling features that I can have in my room as far as the mattress. But again, our bodies just heat up when we sleep. So that's another thing that I think is a sales gimmick out there, because you see all of these things where they tell you this mattress is so cold. And there are some mattresses that have the cooling top. It's not like having an air conditioner in your mattress. So a lot of that is they're definitely making foams more breathable, because memory foam retains heat, and they're making them there's graphite infused foam, and there's copper infused foam, and there's this one foam that I have in one of these mattresses called Serene Foam. It's temperature neutral. You put it in the sun, it doesn't get hot. You put it in the snow, it doesn't get cold. They put it in the freezer in Rome to show me that after 2 hours we got it again, and it was still malleable and soft. It wasn't firm like most cheaper foam gets when it's cooled. But there's all these ways that are trying to make mattresses cooler, but again, our bodies heat up. It's kind of almost hard to correct that 100%. Now you definitely can, the more money you spend and you get these added features and the better quality foams and the better cooling tops and the better cooling sheets and the pillows, you're going to definitely cool yourself down some. But, I'm like you, I still get hot, and I want the fan on, and I like the idea of the window open, because I think we don't open our windows enough in our houses. Other countries, they're always with the windows open. You've got to clean the air in your house. But, yeah, my husband's like, oh, I like the fan, I'm cold, and I'm like, he's a big guy, he's like a stature of a football player, but he hates it, but I win. You can warm up, I can't cool off. I need to be able to have the fan on and sleep with just the sheet, But yeah, I can't sleep. I don't like sleeping with a lot of things on, especially socks. I can't stand it.
No, I can't.
I feel like I'm suffocating.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing when you're talking about all these different kinds of foams. I mean, there's evolution of technology.
There is, and they're continuing to come up with new types of foams by integrating other natural features into the foam and the foam making process to make them more breathable, cooler, less, that retain less heat. Most of the time when you're buying the cheap boxed mattress, which I have box mattresses, so there's nothing wrong with box mattresses, but when you're buying the ones China made, Amazon, the foam quality is about the lowest out there. It's really the density of it is so like a sponge, Yeah. Like you're not going to have any airflow in that, versus some of these. With technology, they've been able to implement so many different features into the foams. And so that's what you're paying for. You're paying for all of this extra work in creating these foams that are more high quality, more cooling, more pressure point relieving, more everything, There's definitely such a large range in the quality of foams.
And so the nice thing about owning your own store is you can control what manufacturers or mattress brands you bring in here.
Exactly. Yeah. I make sure that I bring in manufacturers who provide good customer service to me, which therefore I can give you good customer service, but also ones that do not have a lot of warranty issues and a lot of quality control issues. And they are investing with, research and technology into what they're placing inside of their mattresses, that people are generally happy with their purchase. I think twice I've had someone call me, and it's usually within one night of sleeping. Oh my gosh, I hate the mattress. It's so uncomfortable. And I'm like, okay, it's like a brand new pair of shoes. You've got to wear it in. Your body's so used to sleeping in like a hole probably from your worn out mattress that your back is like, I don't know what to do because I'm being supported and it's just different and I got to get used to it. And so usually I had one person of those two call me back just after about a month because you've got to give it at least 30 days. She's like, oh my gosh, I love my mattress now. Thanks for making me stick it out. And I've had, a few here and there that call me and I don't hear from them again. I don't know. I hope it's because the same thing happened, that they just needed that time to make the transition. And it's not because they don't want to call me and complain, which it's okay to do. I will help you if there's an issue.
Wow. And I see you got a couple awards there, Best of Georgia.
Yeah, and I've got the current year as well. I'm just waiting on the plaque to come in. So I've got Best of Georgia for 2022, 2023, and now 2024. And they have 3 different tiers. They've got the Best of, which is the top tier. And then they've got like regional, and they've got like honorable mention. And so I've got the top tier all 3 times. And the other winners, there's only 4 that win for the whole state of Georgia. They're always usually around the Atlanta area.
Wow.
So I think that's kind of neat. My little one-person shop is,
that's
making
amazing.
some I don't really know that. I mean, this is a voted, it's individuals vote. And then I don't know if it's just the votes because I think they do some of their own, the Georgia Business Journal. I really don't know how they come up with it 100%, but I know it's a voting thing. So my customers, are good at supporting me, and I appreciate that.
That's awesome. And that's the whole state, right? That's not just like Golden Isles.
That's the whole state.
That's the whole state. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
So I have a little pat on the back because there's nothing else you can really win, on a mattress store. But that's one of the things that at least, it's something.
No, it's awesome though. Just local business and here in the Golden Isles, it's for the whole entire state. That's amazing.
So now my goal is every year.
Yeah, 3 years in a row. I mean, that's amazing. And so if you want a award-winning mattress,
shop at an award-winning mattress store. There we go.
Come to Golden Isles Mattress.
And so what's your address here again for all the listeners?
100 Harrison Lane. And so I'm in the same parking lot as Cilantro's. Most people seem to know where that is. Or if not, I'm in front of the Social Security Administration in a building. 100 Harrison Lane in Brunswick. And my number that you can call or text is 912-602-5009.
Awesome.
And you have a website.
I do. It's in need of some revamp. So if you guys know someone that is budget friendly that wants to help some local business person, that I would be happy to take some help there. But yeah, I've created that too, and it's not something I've ever done before. But yeah, it's goldenisletmattress.com. It has all of my I think it has all of the mattresses on there. Maybe not every accessory, but it does have different prices than maybe you would actually get here in the store because I'm held to what we call MAP pricing, minimum advertised price, so that everyone who sells that brand is selling it online for the same price. But when you come into the store, I can offer it for different prices, lower prices.
Wink, wink.
So you've got to come in to see what those prices are.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Thanks for having me.
It was a blast.
I felt privileged to be asked.
Thank you.
So come on down, Golden Isle Mattress. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm fighting back a little bit of a cold. Golden Isles Mattress. It's actually I remember it from Moonshiners. So if you know what Moonshiners is,
I don't think a lot of people know where that was that were like of our age or older. That's that college crowd. But he's doing a good job, I think, in trying to get some different ages in there as well.
Yeah. They follow our Instagram, by the way.
Oh, they do. So we may have to get them on there.
The owner, Ryan's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if you need to find a new mattress, get some good night's sleep, call. Because you're appointment only, right?
Yes. Unless, again, I'm here, I have my open sign on, but it can be hard to get me. So obviously I always recommend call or text me.
Call.
You can stop by and come in if I'm here.
Yeah, call, make an appointment. Check out that's what we're going to do after this podcast right here. We're going to check out all these different mattresses. So, yeah, thank you
They're
so
all
much.
nice close together, so we can look like go.
Yeah, don't jump on the
Yeah, I
mattresses.
can never get people to roll when they're touching. I'm like, go ahead, roll over to the other one. They're like, oh no. Sometimes they do, and I'm like, yes, I got someone to do it.
There you go. There's your fun. You can have someone jump
Yes.
on from one mattress to
I did
another.
a reel with me doing that. You guys look at my Instagram.
That's awesome. Well, once again, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thanks for having us.
Yeah.